Today I'm going to be dyeing my hair pink. It's going to be like a light pink. I kind of did a test strand back here. You can't really see it that well. It's not going to be permanent. It's going to come out, hopefully. I have this hair dye, and I'm going to dilute it with the conditioner that it came with. That way it's not like this dark of a pink, because I don't want it that dark. I kind of want it like a baby pink. Oh, there's already some in here because I was doing my sister's hair. She wanted pink too. I use this random conditioner I found. This is what it's looking like, guys. Someone said I could use water, so I think I'm gonna use water. Okay, I added a lot of water, so it's like runny. I'm really trying to be careful because I really don't want it like dark pink. Okay, so now that it's all mixed, I'm just gonna put it in my hair. Yay! Oh, hopefully it's not that pink. Should I dilute it more?
I feel like it's too late now. Just keep going.
It's fine. It'll rinse out. So if it's too pink, I have like this shampoo, whatever, it's clarifying shampoo. Yeah. Also, school starts in like 5 days, so I'm gonna go to school with pink hair, and it's a new school, so
I walked away for 9 seconds.
It's all in my hair, so I'll report back when it's done. Okay guys, this is definitely not pastel pink. That's okay because it's still drying. It's still wet and it'll fade, so I'm happy with it actually. Okay, so I didn't like it and I used color remover to take it out, but I'm gonna do this one in a separate video, but I think I'm just gonna do like little highlights.
Do my makeup with me and we're gonna talk about my wedding day. Decided to elope because A, my dad's dead. The end. Fuck that shit. I am not doing that. No. We were like, we can elope and be on our honeymoon all at once and it'll be magical. And again, my dad's dead. I'm not doing it. Then we were like, okay, oh fuck. What the fuck? Then we were trying to decide what island we wanted to go to because clearly we love Hawaii. So we were like, okay, let's try somewhere new. Let's go to Honolulu. We look online for like packages. We were just gonna do a bundle, tie it up in a bow and say, yeah, love you, I do, you do. We pick a package, we get we're ready. But then I go to their Instagram and I see their wedding photos of the people that we booked and I was like, no, JCPenney's, no. So then I'm doing my research. I'm like, okay, I gotta find a photographer in Honolulu. I gotta find a flower person. Don't ever underestimate. Don't ever underestimate a woman that's trying to find a photographer for her wedding. I found one and she's a gorgeous, beautiful queen. Book her for the dates. Everything's good. The main guy who does the wedding, I told him that I got a photographer. He was like, so that can interfere with ours. I was all, how do I say I don't need yours? And I'm like, yeah, I already bought it. I was like, okay, well, we will take a couple for our own portfolio. I was like, okay. Boom, got a photographer. Now I needed a bouquet and a hair lady. I obviously am going to do my own makeup for my wedding because I'm a makeup artist. So I find a bouquet, I find a hair lady. We go to Hawaii. I have my wedding dress. You guys, I got my wedding dress like 4 weeks before. What was I doing? People were like, no, you normally get your wedding dress like 6 months before. I was all, oh. One of my friends just traveled with her wedding dress and she was like, when you go to get on the plane, they will take it from you in the long bag and they will hang it for you. I was like, okay, thank God, because it had like gems on it and stuff and I didn't want to fucking crinkle it. Carrying around my wedding dress and we go to get on the first plane. They're like, wait, we don't have a closet. I was like, well, then we had to put the fucking, oh my God, the wedding dress, we had to fold it in half. Wherever there's an open carriage thing, can you guys put it in there flat? Like they were trying to help me, but I was kind of being a fucking bridezilla. We get to Honolulu. The first thing we do when we get off the plane is I tell my husband to turn around and I look and inspect my dress and it was okay. I was all, oh! So we get to our hotel. I don't know what I was expecting with Honolulu, but it was so city-like that I was all, oh, maybe we should have went to Kauai. It was so busy and there's people everywhere. I was like, oh my God, this is a major city. Like, Lacey, do your research. Oh my God. We're like, it's okay. We'll make the best out of it. We'll find places to go where it's more quiet. When we get into the hotel, I try to find a place where I can hang up my dress and not have him see. So I hung it in between the curtains of like the big sliding. Yeah. We then found the North Shore and the North Shore was very much like Hawaii and we loved it there. So we were like, okay, let's just go here every day. I did run into Teddy Swims in a store and I did take a photo with him. Swear to God. So that was exciting. Boom! My wedding day comes, which was like 2 days after we got there. The lady shows up to my hotel to give me my bouquet. A lady shows up to do my hair. Okay, Dalton is in the bedroom sleeping and she doesn't know that. And she comes in and do my hair and she didn't know he was in there. And she was like, oh my God, I love the sleeves of your dress. And I was all, she was all, fuck! Now. After we got married, I was like, did you hear her? And he's all, no. Then Dalton drives to our wedding destination without me because the limo is coming to pick me up. Oh my God, she's a star. As I'm waiting for the limo to come and pick me up at my hotel, I'm standing like the Princess of Genovia in the hotel lobby. In my gown, my veil, and then there's tourists walking by and looking at me through the glass. I was all, It was a sunset wedding, okay? The sun is going down. The driver can't find my hotel. Oh my fuck! He finds me, boom, we're good. We're driving to the location. It's called Sandy Beach. We pull into Sandy Beach. I see my photographer. She's a beautiful queen. She's walking around. And I'm like, hey, you're my photographer. Get in the limo. I'm going to walk down the aisle. There was no aisle. It was just sand. As my husband is looking at the sea. And then he turns around and he sees me walking down to him. Oh, but then there's people playing volleyball right over there. I was all... In the video, you can see me go like this. And then the man who married us looked at them and was like, and then they left. But like, dude, come the fuck on. I don't even care if I was outside of my house and there was a wedding going on in my driveway. I would move so they could get married. Everything's fine. It's a beautiful, gorgeous wedding. My husband talked about my dad. I cried. It was beautiful. It was perfect. But then afterwards for the photos, holy shit. People that I said I didn't need, they were trying to take so many photos of me and the sun was going down and I needed my photographer to take photos of us. And they kept going, Lacey, over here. Lacey, look over here, while my photographer is right next to him going, Lacey. And I was like, oh my God, get out of here. Look at the original photographer's photos of us, okay? Look at the photos from my actual photographer. Do you see what I mean? What? Oh my God, and then my photographer had an accent. I don't remember where she said she was from, but we're sitting there. My favorite animal is a whale. There's the ocean behind me. She goes, whale, whale. I go, whale. I look out at the ocean. She was talking about my veil. She said, veil. One more moment for the photos. Oh my God. We're done. We have dinner reservations at this fancy ass restaurant on the ocean with lanterns and shit. We get in the car. I look at him and I go, do you want to get takeout and go back to the hotel? So we drive back to the hotel. We cancel the reservations and then he goes to get us ribs and pizza and all the fucking things. Back home, we ate. We had literally sauce on our chest and all over our face. And we wanted to way too tired and he was like, I'm gonna roundhouse your ass tomorrow. I'm all fun. And then we literally went parasailing above the ocean and we went shark cage diving and it was like the best experience, best wedding I could ever imagine. Still can't believe I'm a wife to this day, dude, because like, what? Also, when I was saying my vows to Dalton, the sun peeked through the clouds. It was when I was talking about my dad too. I swear to God. Also, Dalton asked the boys for permission to marry me before we even got married because I have a dead dad. Okay, we know. And that's it. That's a rapid version of my wedding. Oh, makeup done. Love you.
My parents caught me having a boyfriend, so they followed us to work and they stalked us while we were in the parking lot. Now, if you guys want to know exactly how my parents found out about my boyfriend, you guys can go to the first part. That's the TikTok that's right under this one. But so basically, they found out I had a boyfriend about 2 days ago, and things were pretty bad. Like, it was still so fresh and I was just so nervous to even go out. I called out of work. I was so depressed. Like, I'm not even just saying depressed just to say depressed. Like, I've been in such a low mental state ever since then because it's like I feel like I can't live here anymore. But last night I had a shift and obviously like I worked with him and it was my first shift since everything that happened. And it was my first time seeing all my coworkers and everything. Like, they all know what happened and they all know what's going on. And they were so supportive. They were so sweet and so nice and, like, all these things. And I, like, felt so supported, so loved. And I felt like for the first time in, like, those 2 days, I felt like everything was going to be okay. So, fast forward to after our shift, me and my man, we were talking with one of our coworkers who's like our work mom, and she was giving us advice and all these things, and she was just listening in. And then we're walking out to all of our cars, and he always parks like right next to me and stuff because he always walks me to my car anyways and everything after work, especially at night. So he was parked right next to me, and so we just stood there like in the parking lot just like talking. Like, that was the first time. Like, me and him usually go like you know, like that, but like this time we actually just stood there and just talked about everything going on. And we were just kind of hugging each other because he kept, like, first of all, well, he basically was kind of just telling me, like, oh, I'm like literally peeling. But yeah, we're basically just talking about how to make things work, you know, and that no matter what happens, we will find a way every single time. Like, all these things, like, we're just comforting each other. And he's telling me, he's like, I wanted to hug you so bad during our shift. And me and him were very strict on, like, any physical affection, like, at work and stuff like that. But today, he knew that I needed it. And he was, like, hugging me, like, when he first saw me. And telling me that everything's going to be okay, that we're going to find a way to make it work, no matter what, and everything. Like, and all these things. And that's what he was basically doing here. He was like, now I can properly, like, hug you and tell you like everything's gonna be okay now and all of these things. And we stood there for probably like maybe like 30 minutes, something around that time, and then eventually we called it a night. And then we were like, okay, we'll call each other later tonight, like it'll be fine, we'll see each other in the morning because we both work a morning shift today. And then I come home and my parents are already like not talking. Well, I'm not talking to my parents because I'm like, I don't really care. And they pull me, well, my dad, he pulls all of us, he's like, let's have a family meeting, like all 4 of us, everything. And then they break it to me, they're like, we told you that if you wanted to continue this with him, then you're dead to us, and you have lied to us 3 times now. And I said, what was the 3rd time? And they're like, we saw you guys in the parking lot. We went out to go see you in the parking lot, and you were with him, hugging each other, embracing each other, all these things. Like, clearly you guys are not done, even though you said that you guys are done. And I honestly just had like a blank expression on my face. I was like, are you serious? Is that the level that we're stooping to right now? We're gonna stoop to stalking. We're gonna stoop to like watching and like sneaking around and all that stuff. Is that the level that we really want to stoop to? And basically, to just sum up this like whole argument, is like my parents. So basically my dad is saying, if you're gonna continue this, we're basically cutting you out. You're cut out the will. You are gonna live like a tenant here. You're gonna pay for rent. You're gonna pay for all these things, and you can no longer call me dad. And honestly, I just had no reaction. I was just like, okay. And basically what I'm trying to tell them is like, because they're trying to make me make a decision between it's either him or us. And I'm trying to tell them, I'm like, I don't want to pick sides. Like, I want to be trusted as an adult to make decisions for myself, that I have enough experience. Like, I'm not saying that, and I told them this, I said, it's not like I'm wiser than you guys, that I know better than you guys. Like, I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to tell you guys that I want you to trust that I've lived, like, through so much already, that I know what's good for me and what, you know, is best for me and all of these things. And I want you guys to trust that I can make those decisions. And if things go south, I will learn my lesson from it. But if things work out, then it'll be the best relationship I ever had. And then I brought up the fact that my mom knew about my last relationship. Because I've only ever had one other boyfriend before this. And I basically told them, like, hey, look, mom already trusted me to handle this one relationship, and even though it went south, I learned so much from it, and I would do it all again, because the lessons that I learned from that relationship, like, it made me who I am today. And what I'm trying to say is that these life experiences, like, they're shaping me into who I am. And basically, I'm not trying to pick like one over the other. I'm not trying to pick him over you guys or you guys over him. Like, I'm trying to tell you guys that I want you guys to trust me, that I am, like, if things go south, basically what I'm trying to say is, like, if things go south, then I want you guys to trust me that, you know, I will find a way, and like, I'm not gonna like lose myself or anything. And my dad was basically like, so it sounds like you're picking him over us. And I was like, if you want to word it that way, you can, because I've already tried explaining it to you. And he was like, no, that is what it's gonna be. And so essentially he's like telling me, he's like, yep, you're gonna live like a tenant here, you're cut out, and you're not allowed to call me dad anymore, you are dead to us. And I was like, okay. I sprayed my face with a little bit of setting spray, but basically yeah, so that basically happened. And then I don't even know what to say anymore, because then I don't know, just kept talking, and I just kept telling them, like, you guys treat me so bad, like, you're gonna cut me out for this, for the dumbest reason, the absolute dumbest reason. And they're like, can't you see what you're doing to us, like, all these things. I literally told them, I said, I'm being really honest with you guys, you're kind of just doing this to yourself, like, you're cutting out your own daughter for some bullshit. I don't know. And then one thing led to another, and I kept like telling them, like, I'll be really honest with you, like, because they kept telling me, like, oh, you kept lying, you kept doing this, and you kept doing that. I told them, I said, yeah, because the reason that I was lying is because to be honest with myself, I lied because I wanted to keep both of you guys. I wanted to keep a relationship with you guys because I knew that this is how you guys were going to react. But I also wanted to keep a relationship with him, so it's like I thought I could have both. And obviously, like, I can't have that relationship with you guys. And it's like, and I told him too, I said, even if I were to say no, that I am going to end things with you and I am going to, or end things with him, and, you know, figure out a way to, you know, have both, just have him. Wait, what am I saying? It's like, even if I were to choose you guys over him, like, fully, and like completely cut him off and completely break up with him for real and everything, it's like, how can I ever trust you guys to tell you anything ever again? Like, literally just the fact that you guys, like, completely threatened to cut me off and was going to cut me off over something like this, what makes you think that I ever want to talk to you guys about anything ever again? Like, not even just like boyfriend wise, but like anything wise. Like, why would I tell you anything? And they kept arguing, going back and forth, basically saying that, like, oh, like, well, we are fine with anything. We're fine with you having friends. We're fine with you, like, giving you freedom and, like, all these things. But, like, this is the one thing that we can't do and we can't have. Like, it's not in our culture. Like, all these things. Basically, I was telling them, like, no, like, you guys left that scar on me now. Like, that you guys can easily just cut me off just like that over nothing. I can't trust you with anything anymore. Like, just as much as you can't trust me, I guess. Like, I can't trust you. I'm sorry, I can't do that. And basically, to just sum up what happened after that, like, my mom was just trying to, like, they were like, you've changed so much, we just want our daughter back, like, all these things. And then my mom, like, I don't know, at some point I just gave up and I stopped talking and I just went numb because I was literally just like, there's nothing left I can say anymore because they wouldn't let me finish all these things, and I don't know. Go to part 2 so that I can finish the story.
These are secrets I've kept from my parents because I'm 22, grown, and what the fuck are they gonna do about it? I want to preface this video with saying all of these things are alleged, and do not do any of the things that I say in this video because you learn from my mistakes, you don't do them. Okay, thank you! In high school, I took a trip to Disney World with my boyfriend without my parents knowing. And before you're like, girl, you're a mind of a mastermind for real. Like, how did you get away with this? If you guys didn't know, I live in Florida, and most high schools in Florida for the senior trip, they either take you to Universal or Disney World. So imagine a baddie senior year, the senior trip was coming up, and I had this brilliant idea because I have a mind of a mastermind for it. I basically told my boyfriend at the time, which is now my future fiance, I told my man, girl, like, we're going to Universal with the school, but I really want to go to Disney World. And he was like, girl, so why don't we go to Disney World right after, like, we come back from going to Universal with the school? They are not lying when they say a man who truly loves you will find solutions to your problems. And again, since a baddie's a mind of a mastermind for it. So when the school was giving out the flyers for the parents to, like, sign to let their baddie daughters go to this trip, I was already taking a Photoshop class during my senior year, so it was so easy to, like, just add this hoe into a Google Doc, you know, move some dates around. So instead of a trip that was only gonna last one day with the school, I made it seem like the school was taking us on a 2-day trip. Okay. Parents see it, they sign it. They usually don't really care if I go to, like, these field trips because, like, they kind of trust the baddie, you know what I mean? And also, it's kind of normal in Florida to have, like, trips with your school because when I was in middle school, I literally had, like, a whole week trip with my school to go to St. Augustine, so they didn't really think anything of it. And books the one-night stay for a hotel plus the tickets for Disney, even though we were already going to Universal, like, the day before. The plan was the school was going to take us from South Florida all the way to Orlando, which is a 4-hour trip, and we would get to Universal at 4 in the afternoon. Would be in Universal, you know, going on rides, chilling until like midnight. And then at midnight, we would go back home, which was 4 hours. Got back home at 4 a.m. And then my man decided to drive all the way back up to Orlando, which was, again, another 4 hours just to make a baddie happy. Okay. The next secret I kept has to be when I was in middle school, I lied to my parents saying, hey, I'm just going to go to like this after school basketball game, but instead I walked across from the school and, you know, inhaled some za. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And if you don't, girl, scroll. You're way too young to be watching the video right now. Now, picture a baddie in 8th grade. I had some friends that were bad influences. Okay, I'm gonna preface this with saying do not do rugs. This is just a story time so you guys can learn from me, so you guys don't do it. Okay. My friends were like, hey, like, girl, we're gonna go do some za after school across the street at this park. Do you want to come with us? And I'm like, you know what? Why not? It's I walk over there, and please tell me why my friends did not tell me that there was gonna be high schoolers there inhaling that za with us. So we were all kind of sharing, like, ew! Girl, please tell me why one of those high schoolers that were there literally goes to the same school as my older sister and has the same class as my older sister. Apparently told her that I was there, you know, sharing that za with all of them. Let me know if you guys want a part 2 because I have a lot more stories. Because this is a finished makeup look. Go subscribe to my YouTube. The link is in the bio. I'm posting every Wednesdays. As always, remember, you are that bitch. I love you guys so much. Bye!
Okay, I feel like I haven't done a story time in a long time. So story time on how I got canceled while I touched up my makeup. I feel like I've like briefly mentioned how I've been canceled before, and then a lot of you guys were like, oh, like why'd she get canceled or whatever, and then I usually don't respond because it's like a really like long explanation and kind of confusing, but I'm gonna give you guys a story time. Okay, so in the summer of 2025, I made a lip sync video to an Evie Zamora sound from 13 because at the time I had gotten a lot of comments saying it looked like her, and I was like, oh, like I'm gonna make this sound because like I want to like, yeah, I think it'll do good, and the video did do good. So after that video was doing good, I had seen this like content creator with almost 1 million followers like kind of hating, but I guess everyone didn't see it that way besides me. But she had commented on the video like, oh dear lord, and you can't really mean that in a positive way, I'm sorry, but that just like comes off negative. So I called her out on it in one of my grims, and then she proceeds to like flip the situation. It was so fucking weird, and it was so crazy how everybody agreed with her on this, which I like, it's genuine rage bait, but decided to like flip the situation around on me and then just instantly started calling me a mean girl because I called her out on like a negative comment. And basically what was also going on was a bunch of people were like sending her fake DMs, making up fake stories like when they've met me and stuff, and she was posting that like all on TikTok saying, I've got sent tons of DMs saying you're a mean girl, and like just started like posting all this fake shit that like literally never happened. And obviously like the internet, I swear the internet's fucking stupid because like I feel like if there's no video proof, no proof whatsoever, and it's just somebody saying something, then like you can't really go based off that. And there was a shit ton of like fake DMs. Like I feel like a bunch of people were just preying on my downfall. Like either people were pulling shit out of their ass or she was making fake accounts and they were sending fake stuff because I had never met any of these people. Like literally one of the DMs said I ripped off someone's religious like thing. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word. I'm like kind of scared of getting canceled, so I'm not gonna like say anything. But if you know what I'm talking about, like somebody said I ripped that off and refused to take a picture with them, which like that just doesn't even sound real. Anyways, fast forward to this other girl. So this one girl had like gone to the Glow House party and I met her for like 5 seconds. She had then proceeded to come online and like say all this bullshit about me. And at the time I didn't remember meeting her, so like obviously it was like, oh, I don't know who this is. Like I told TikTok that because I was like, I don't know who that is, because I genuinely didn't remember meeting her because I had like 5-second interactions with literally everybody at that party. And then something like literally just struck me and I was like, oh wait, like I do remember talking to her. So like obviously like I told her, I was like, oh yeah, like I remember talking to her, which clearly didn't look good on my part because I just kept making a million videos about it because I was like confused, because I was like, I literally had never been canceled before and I was just like, it was so much like at one time and I was so confused. So then after the story time, she was like, you guys want proof? Well, I'm gonna get my mom to come on here and call Hope a mean girl. And that's exactly what she did. She like literally got her mom on their internet calling me a mean girl. And then my comments were filled with like, oh, moms don't lie, moms don't lie. Like, okay. I'm telling you guys, I could get my mom to come on the internet and lie for me too if I really wanted to. Like if it really came to that, I could get my mom to say anything on the internet and she could be lying. Like I literally made this fake video. My mom was like, mom, I'm gonna cuss at you so you can like pretend to ground me. And I made that video and posted it. Like it's not that hard to get your mom to come on the internet and lie. And honestly, I thought this was the stupidest thing in the world. Like I was so rage baited, and it was actually crazy because there's literally people that like do way worse stuff than that and get away with it. I genuinely think cancel culture is actually fucking insane. But there's my little story time on how I got canceled because yeah. I hope y'all enjoy and I love y'all. Bye.
We gotta be real quiet in the creek because it's 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm gonna get ready. Because I don't want to wake up my family. And I look like a man from the 1800s. Let's turn on the light. Okay, so I was at the Spider-Man movie, right, with my 2 friends, and we sit down. The whole movie experience was me, do you want to swap seats? And I was like, yeah. So we go to the bathroom, we get some more popcorn, we come back, and we swap seats, right? And he looks up and he's like, and he's looking for me. And then you know what he does? He harasses Tioni. Oh my gosh, this man would not stop. And he started recording us. What's freaky? And then Tierney was like, hey man, can you like stop? And also, can you delete that because it's like illegal to record people without their consent? And then he's like, oh man, it was just a joke, it was just a joke. So funny, so freaking funny. Oh, and also after the movie, he started talking to us again. And I was like, you really don't get the hint, do you? And we were scared that they were going to follow us out of the cinema. So then I texted my uncle and I was like, yo, can you like meet us outside and walk everyone to their cars, please? And that's what he did. Phil, you're a king. I got a new powder because I've been running out, and look at the little bears, the little polar bears. Isn't that cute? I love it. I love it. Has anyone listened to Phoebe Bridges' new album? Because it like killed me. Haunted. Governor's Waltz. Governor's Waltz is like elite, bro. The reprise at the end. Reprise. I do musical theatre and I don't even know how to pronounce it. Reprise. Can someone tell me whether it's reprise or reprise, please? I'm really excited for this hair because I feel like the worse it looks when it's up, the better it looks when it's down. He ruined my dream journal. Mr. Electric, send him to the principal's office and have him expelled. Close your eyes, shut your mouth, dream a dream, get us out. Dream, 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 dream. Hit the hay, fast asleep, dream a dream, you little bleep. Dream, 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 dream. You know what I find really funny? Allegra always comes over to my house and she uses all my Victoria's Secret perfumes, but her favourite one is Bev Vanilla. So I went out and I bought her one, and it's waiting for when she comes over next. And I was a victim of insane highlighter in the inner corner in 2020. Don't you worry, I'm keeping that trend alive. Single-handedly keeping that alive. I think we can do the hair. Should I do the back or the front first? I'm gonna do the back. Where is it? Yeah. This is so cute. That's so cute. Freak off. This is my favorite part. The one in the middle always freaking looks good. Now, if the pin would just not get caught in my hair, then maybe I'd be a little less angry. Okay, I feel like I have to style it a little bit more. I feel like I should do a little bit of a sidebar. Do we feel that today? Are we feeling that? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna get dressed. I like you put a headband on because the hair was getting in my face and I got annoyed. But anyway, this is the jewelry stack. I love it. I've added on to my ring collection, and I'm in love with it. And then I also have this necklace that I bought with a little swirly whirly in the middle. It reminds me of Moana. And then I have my tangled necklace that I wear every single day without fail. I never take it off. I don't think I've taken it off in 2 years. But yeah. Okay guys, I look, you think I'm done. Bye.
Get ready with me while I tell you about things you would not be jealous of me for. When I was 13, my parents found out that I was gay. They kicked me out / I also had to run away for my own safety. And went on contact with me. And so did my entire fucking family. I'm talking grandparents, aunties, cousins, uncles. The girl I considered like my best friend in the whole universe turned out to be the person running a hate account about me. This was a really long time ago now, but a hate account about me. It was her, and I was literally crying about it to her, being like, this account is really mean, and she was like, I'm so sorry, baby, like, I don't know what to tell you, they're horrible, people are mean. It was her the whole time. 2 years ago, I got offered a really good modelling job, like a career-changing modelling job. Got casted, everything. And then I got really bad agoraphobia and couldn't leave the house, so I had to not do it because I could not stomach it. I had a stalker, and I became absolutely terrified to post. I became terrified to do anything. So I basically ended up kind of changing a lot of things about, like, my identity on the internet. Like, I changed, like, my name, my age. I started going by, like, I changed all my handles and stuff. He still found me, by the way, but for anyone wondering, that's like low-key why I lied about a bunch of stuff when I was like 16. My whole life, I have never ever identified with womanhood. Like, literally, I have always had really bad, like, imposter syndrome, just never felt like a woman. I actually thought that I had a personality disorder my whole life, and then I was, like, 16, and they tested me, and they were like, oh, no, you're actually fine. And I've been tested for everything. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm actually gender fluid, and I just refuse to admit it, and I'm like, that's fine. I was bullied a lot in school, mostly for, like, the way I looked, the way I dressed, the way, you know, people said really mean things about me, and it led to me getting really bad body dysmorphia. But instead of handling, like, that, like, a normal teenage girl would, I was just, like, so insecure that I couldn't leave the house for, like, most of my teenage years, and I, like, low-key threw them away. And I was, like, an OG looks maxer. I was, like, learning how to, like, catfish everything about myself. So much so to the point where I was, like, wearing pajama bottoms to make myself look less skinny because everyone said I had no ass. Like, I was wearing, like, push-up bra. I was locked the fuck in trying to get hot. So much so to the point where I gave myself even worse body dysmorphia because I didn't recognize myself anymore. And then, like, a year ago, I had a massive, like, mental breakdown, and I was like, who the fuck am I? And I had to literally rebuild my entire identity and things that I liked from scratch. I was 14 and I got adopted. I decided I wanted to contact my birth dad, who I hadn't really seen since I was, like, a baby. He'd never been in my life. So I contacted him. Turns out he's actually just deranged and it just wasn't worth it. But I did find out that I had 2 random sisters that I did not know about, who lived right in my area and I had actually met. I'm riddled with tism, so I always really struggled to, like, make friends. And then last year I made a friend group, and this was, like, the best thing that had ever happened to me. First time in my life I'd had, like, a group of friends. This boy in my group that I got really close with, asked to hang out with me one-on-one, took me under a bridge and felt me up. And I was like, yo, I'm not into that. I wasn't, like, super offended. I was, but I was like, I'm not into you like that. I'm sorry, mixed signals. Not happening. Ended up finding out he was dating one of the girls in the group behind my back. So I ended up telling her. And she decides it was my fault. And this boy then says, what? We were never even friends. We never even hung out. Despite me having, like, messages of him sending me, like, explicit pictures and things trying to get me. Just spread a bunch of shit about me, saying that I was, like, a boyfriend stealer and that I was, like, trying to nick people's boyfriends. Mind you, this is when I was starting to realize I was a lesbian. Then reconciled with said girlfriend because he was in fact the villain in that story, and she realized that. It made me think I was going insane because, like, he was like, what? We're not even friends. I never did that. I was like, well, you did. Best gaslighting I've ever had. I skate, not so much anymore, but 2 years ago, I was trying to learn how to drop in on a vert, and I fucking fell knee first and broke my knee, and didn't realize it was broken, so I just didn't get any treatment for it. And it's still dodged now, and 2 years later, my knee is just in constant pain. I need knee surgery tomorrow, please. And now I have to wear a stupid fucking knee brace. Get ready with me while I explain my love life and basically spill the tea on every relationship I have ever been in. This one, I can already see the ops, like, hitting the share button. Oh my god, everyone is quaking. I started dating properly when I was, like, 15. That's, like, when I got my first real boyfriend. I dated girls before that, but I low-key matured really slow compared to everyone else I knew, like, and I'd been dating girls, but I'd never even, like, kissed anyone, really. Best friend at the time gets a little crush on me. He's like, I really like you, and I'm like, you know what? Okay. I was really scared of men because I was really badly you couldn't be left alone in a room with them. I was really struggling when I was like 14, 15 with this. So this was like a really big step for me. It took maybe 3 days before he cheated on me at a gig. But you know, I'm not gonna pressure him to, because I was like, I want to be the chill girlfriend. I want to be. Months in, he starts getting really like abusive-y, like very coercive, and whenever anything would go wrong with us, he'd be like, I might break up with you, but I need 3 days to decide. He wasn't a great guy, and he really like fed on like female validation. After like 9 months or something, he breaks up with me, compares me to a used computer, and says that he's fucking bored of me. And he literally, his exact words were like, oh, you're like a t-shirt that I've worn too many times. Whereas I'd low-key become really codependent on him and like didn't even know what to do with my life now. He actually talked about his ex-girlfriend so much, and he like wanted me to look like her. He was like, you should get a black wolf cut. And I was like, you know what? She is actually really pretty. So we become friends, and I stopped fancying her. He talked about his ex-girlfriend so much that I fell in love with her. A little summer fling that didn't really work out. because she was like really hung up on someone else. And we didn't really stay friends after that, but I think she's a sweet girl. So I'm like talking to my first boyfriend again. We're like, are we gonna get back together? Turns out he started a band and they wrote like a bunch of fucking songs basically slandering me, calling me like a bitch, you crave male validation, you bitch. Like, it was kind of bad. While I'm talking to him, this boy from school starts hitting me up. And he's like one of the really popular chav guys. Quite like fit to all the girls and everyone really fancies him. I never really understood the hype with him. I was like, is he not really chop? But like everyone thought he was fit. Not proud, but grown enough to say it. I think I just really liked getting validation from someone who'd been mean to me. Me and my friend like took this like road man to like the goth club one time because we were like heavy goth. It was really funny. We had nothing in common. He was boring. He thought he was like alternative and quirky because he was Stussy. It went on for like maybe three weeks, and I ended up back with first boyfriend. And that was the stupidest thing I'd ever done because he had gotten so much worse. He'd been with other girls in between. Because we were like 16 now, he expected certain things from me, you know what I'm saying? I've actually grown up always wanting to wait till marriage, which I'm not sure if that was because I was a fucking lesbian and didn't know it yet, but I was just really put off by the thought of sex. Not long after I turned 16, got assaulted. And I kind of lost all control over that part of my life. I actually ended up leaving him because he treats me like absolute shit. I did also reactively treat him like shit because I was 16. I take accountability, but in my defense, he cheated on me with like 12 girls. We're separate ways. And my best friend, I thought he was like the coolest person ever. Like, we were like, I really loved him, but not romantically. Like, you know what? I've lost all control over my bodily autonomy. I want to lose my V to you. Just like end up getting on with him. And it was actually a really good experience. Like, it wasn't because like at 16 I'm fucking lesbian, but it was like really loving and I felt really safe and it was good. It was never serious because it was really impractical. He was like on a lot of substances, but it kind of went to shit because he was really drunk one night and slapped me. And to be fair, I think he was more shocked than I was. Like, we were arguing, he was like off it and he like slapped me. And I was like, did you just hit me? He was like, I think so. I was like, well, you can't fucking be doing that. And we did not end up kind of reconciling after that. We are on good terms now. Summer before I started college, I met my ex-boyfriend, who you guys actually knew. He was a couple years older than me. He'd been like held back, so we were in the same year. I actually met him because my best friend tried to set me up with another guy, with one of like my ex's friends. Ended up in the strangest relationship of my life because I'm a lesbian, but I hadn't really clocked it yet. He just was not interested in me. 2-year long platonic relationship, best friends, and I really liked him. Really had much beef with him throughout our relationship. The only time we'd beef is like if he was like, he did do something naughty behind my back early on, and I was like, well, can you fucking pack it in? He wasn't my boyfriend. He was, and I loved him a lot, but I don't know, I have to be really sensitive because I don't want this getting back to him. It's not at all how do I put it, adult. And not having that kind of like a relationship where like we go on dates and we like go to bed together and we like, you know, not having an actual relationship didn't bother me until it did one day. I really started to like want love, and I was like, I don't think I've ever been in love with anyone, and I really kind of feel like I'm not in love with my boyfriend. So we break up in the beginning of this year, like really like kind of heartbroken because I'm someone like, I don't know, I'd become really attached to him and he was such a big part of my life for so long. I realized I couldn't go the rest of my life without coming out of the closet. I had known I was a lesbian for a long time, longer than I'd like to admit, and it's something I'm quite ashamed of. But in between me coming out, I dated a boy. Not proud, but lesbian enough to say it. I had to know. And in my head, it is the dream com-het relationship. He lives like 6 hours away. I have to see him once a month. He was a good guy. I really liked him as a friend. And then as we got together, I realized he was a cunt. I want you to be wearing ankle-length skirts. He was on all of this. Like, we had really similar views on like life. So I was really surprised when we didn't. I was like, fucking hell, not again. What am I doing to attract these men? He was like, housewife. He also went down like the looks maxing pipe. Like, he was so into all that shit. And I was like, oh my god. I kind of realized I was going to come out of a lesbian because of him. I went to stay with him for a weekend and he was horrible to me. Relationship wasn't really a relationship, it was casual. We were also both like, he was seeing other people, I wasn't, like really miserable and like didn't want to be around me. He was like, I just want to go home, and actually been lying to me about someone he was friends with. Anyone who knew this era of me will know what I'm talking about. I basically realized I didn't want to be with him. He was a cunt. I broke up with him after that. Like, everyone was like, she had a boyfriend, now she has another boyfriend. Guys, I don't think that's bad. I think I've been in about 5 relationships. And you know what, even if I was, whole life or no life, I'm too fucking attached to people. But yeah, we split up, and I have this mentee B. I'm like, I fucking hate him. I hate every man I've been with. What is wrong with me? And I end up coming out. That leads me to realizing I really want to be with a woman. I don't have like women my whole life, by the way. This was not like a revelation for me. This is why I wasn't shocked. I just didn't know I was not into men. End up getting feelings for my best friend. And it kind of devolves into what it is now. And you guys know, I now have a girlfriend, and I love her very, very much. And she's perfect, and she's amazing. And I am the most me and the happiest I've ever been in my entire fucking life. Only recently, like, made things official, but we've had a little thing going on for, like, since, like, beginning of this year. Like, I'm bad with time. I think it was, like, May. Yeah, that was my relationship drama. That's my relationship dating history. I'm very ashamed of my dating history. I dated some absolute plebs. But you know what? Each pleb helps you grow. Live, laugh, and live your life good.